Hey ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, you're watching Channel Hot Monkey and we are back with Splinter Cell Classics Episode 4. This time, as promised, we're playing Splinter Cell Double Agent. So without any further ado, let's get started.
Alright guys, we're going to silent mode. Get ready. Why? Should I be? Let me lead the way!
Lambert, it's time for me to retire.
He's just trying to impress you, so look after him.
Okay, so we're in. Before I say anything, I really want to thank all you guys for all the amazing support you left in the last episode of Splinter Cell Classics. The series obviously doesn't get a lot of views, but those of you who do follow it leave really amazing support and feedback, and because of you, it's obvious that we have to continue on with the series.
This is a simple reconnaissance mission only. You can enter the power plant grounds through the water intake at the bottom of the lake. Details on your OPSAT.
Consider it done.
You can count on us, sir.
So for the fourth episode of Splinter Cell Classics, I said that I was going to be playing a mission from Double Agent, which obviously I am, but unfortunately this is not the mission that I had in mind in first place. You see, since I did a fresh install of a new operating system on my computer, I had to install Splinter Cell Double Agent again because obviously I didn't have it. Well, I thought to myself, it doesn't matter because I can just transfer my saved games from my old computer to my new computer, and that way I won't have to play the game from the beginning. I'll just have all my missions, all my save games, and I can just pick the mission that I wanted to play for this video. Unfortunately, I would soon find out that I didn't have absolutely any content from Splinter Cell Double Agent on my old computer because, as it turns out, I deleted it a while back. I don't even remember when, but it's not there, so I had no saved games and I had to play it from the beginning. Now, since I have a really narrow time schedule for this weekend, I'm not really able to play the whole game and get to that level that I wanted to record and become efficient at it, so I thought to myself, what the fuck, I'm gonna play the first level for this episode because I really don't have the time to play the game in order to get to the level that I wanted to record for this particular mission. And I know that I promised you guys that it's gonna come quick. One of my viewers was asking me the other weekend, when's the fourth episode gonna be out? And I said it's gonna be out this weekend, so I didn't want to disappoint you guys. This is the first level from Splinter Cell Double Agent. Technically, in this certain point of the timeline of the game, Sam Fisher still hasn't become a double agent. So that's the main reason why I want to do another episode from Double Agent after this, just so that we can get a feeling from one of those missions when Sam Fisher has to execute certain objectives for the NSA on one side and for the JBA on the other side. And really that is, that's the whole idea of Double Agent. That's why this particular installment is special in the whole franchise. So, in order for me to keep my promise to you guys, I recorded Mission 1, which is from Iceland, and frankly, if you ask me, it's a beautiful mission, so I really do hope you guys will enjoy it. So, let's just distract this guy so that we can get on with the show. So, Double Agent, I hear a lot of people saying how it's a great game and how it's a great installment in the whole franchise. And really it is, but it's one of those installments that I personally didn't have the opportunity to enjoy that much. And it's not because the game is not good. On the contrary, it is a bit different from previous Splinter Cell installments, but the reason why I actually never was able to enjoy this game to its full potential and in all of its glory is because I always played it on the PC. So this is what you're watching right now is the PC version of Splinter Cell Double Agent. And as many of you may know, if you've played this game on a PC, it really has a lot of problems. It has a lot of bugs, a lot of crashes, and at one certain point, it just gets on your nerves, and it crashes and then you start over, and then it crashes again and then you start over again, and it happens so many times. But you can only keep your willpower to a certain point. At one point you say, just fuck it, man, this is gonna continue happening. I did beat the game several times, but because it crashed on me so often, I really wasn't able to enjoy replaying it over and over, like in the case of previous versions of Splinter Cell. Now this gets me to the topic of the PlayStation 2 version of Splinter Cell Double Agent, which unfortunately I never had the opportunity to play, but I had the opportunity to speak with a lot of people who did play the game and who did enjoy it, and so many of them have only words of praise for that game. So yeah, it's one of those Splinter Cell things that I never did, so this is something that I still have to do. Play the PlayStation 2 version of Splinter Cell Double Agent, because from what I can tell by speaking to people who have played it, the game is a freaking masterpiece. And I did have the opportunity to watch a few gameplay videos on YouTube, and it really does look really challenging, and it really looks good. So maybe one day, I never owned the PlayStation 2. Right now, people are telling me, emulators are your friend, but I just can't find the time for that. I barely find the time to play these games on my PC these days. So I don't know, but one day when I do have more spare time, more free time, I'm definitely gonna try out the PlayStation 2 version wherever I can. I don't know, maybe somebody can borrow me their PlayStation 2 if they still have it. But as for this game, as for the PC version, I remember playing it back then, and besides, the different feel that you have to experience when you start playing a new Splinter Cell for the first time, the hardest thing for me to kind of adjust to was the absence of the visibility meter that we had in the first, second, and third Splinter Cell. Chaos Theory introduced the sound meter, which was also a really helpful tool, and now we get a new installment where not only do you don't have that cool sound meter, but they actually took away the visibility meter, and instead of that you have this system with this circle in the bottom left corner. If you are in the darkness, if nobody can see you, then it lights up green, the same as the light on Sam Fisher's back. If you are on a visible spot, it's yellow, and if you're being under attack, then it's red. And it's a pretty simple system. It's something that was implemented in Blacklist also, not graphically the same way, but the same mechanism was implemented. And I gotta say, it's not bad, it works, but I myself, being a great fan of Splinter Cell, Chaos Theory, and the original Splinter Cell, I would really like to see the visibility meter back in future installments, if and when we ever get them. One of the things that I really do love in this game is the sound that the game makes when a certain guard senses your presence. I also like the piano note that would play in the same situation in the first installment of Splinter Cell, and it's awesome, but I'm pretty sure that I like the sound from Double Agent more. It just has something to it that appeals to me. I don't know. It's a subjective thing. Don't hate me for it. Today I've really realized that when it comes to Splinter Cell, you have to, not just Splinter Cell, it's everything that has a great fan base, you have to pay attention to what you say. You can't say anything that you haven't thought through previously, because the fans who disagree, they're gonna fucking murder you, man. They're gonna freaking fucking murder you. They're gonna suck out your blood and chop you into pieces. But frankly, I don't care, because I always say that the things that I say are my personal point of view. It's something that I think. You don't have to agree with it. I'm putting it out there in order to interact with you guys, in order to show you guys what I think and get some feedback in order to find out what other fans think. So yeah, just a little disclaimer right there. And by the way, the commentary of this video is recorded separately from the gameplay footage. It's highly unscripted. I'm improvising here, people, so don't give me shit if I'm not that eloquent and stuff. You know, I'm looking at my notes here, and I have a lot of things that I've written down, but unfortunately this video is going to be too short for me to go over all of those things. Now, one of the things that I have written down on my little piece of paper, and it's something that I really can't skip, is the fact that this year it's going to be 10 years since Splinter Cell Double Agent was first released. So yeah, we're going to have a video for that too on channel Hot Monkey, but that's going to be something that's going to come along in the second part of the year. So this year we're going to have at least 2 more Double Agent videos on the channel. It's going to be the 10th anniversary video, and it's going to be the other video for Splinter Cell Classics, in which we're going to play as a true Double Agent, as opposed to what we're seeing right now. We're just playing for the NSA because the story still hasn't taken us to the point when Sam Fisher turns into the notorious Double Agent that he will become. And yeah, you know, Double Agent sort of sets the plot for Conviction, which a lot of people don't like, but in my opinion it has, you know, some of the most spectacular moments in the whole franchise. But you know, that's another story. It's probably another one of those things that I'm gonna get a lot of hate for, so I better stop right now. Luckily the video is coming to its end. One more time, I want to thank you guys for all the support that you've been leaving. You are truly awesome. I do hope you guys did enjoy this quick video. If you did, please leave a like. As always, feel free to interact in the comments below. If this video can get over 700,000 likes, I'm gonna make the next episode in a month. Of course, I'm just kidding. If it can get like 2 likes, I'll make the next episode in a month. You know, those are my standards. I'm pathetic. Anyways, this is Channel Hot Monkey signing off. Stay strong.
Sam? What's going on, Lambert?
I broke the news when I pulled him out of Iceland. He didn't take it well. Nobody would, losing their own flesh and blood. And he'd never be the same again.